Kate Middleton's €675 designer handbag is snatched by baby as mortified mum looks on. Prince William and Kate Middleton visited the Aberfan Memorial Garden in South Wales today, where they were greeted by a crowd of well-wishers who turned out to say hello to them, and one young fan took a shine to Kate's designer handbag. The Princess of Wales is always followed by security wherever she goes, but that didn't stop one young fan from snatching her handbag as his mortified mum looked on. The visit was dedicated to the victims of the 1966 disaster, which struck the village. During the visit, the royal couple took the time to chat to well-wishers who turned out to greet them, with Kate making a beeline for mum Lucy Williams and her baby son Daniel. As the two women chatted, Daniel took a shine to Kate's €675 mulberry handbag, grabbing it out of her hands as the princess laughed at the youngster. But despite the pleas of mum Lucy, a giggling Daniel refused to hand the bag back to Kate, who thankfully told the youngster he could keep holding it as she shook hands with other well-wishers. However, Lucy grappled with the little one, who then tried to put the bag in his mouth before releasing it from his grasp, though luckily the quick reactions of his mum meant she caught it before it fell on the floor. It was then handed back Kate. Speaking after the visit, Mrs. Williams, whose mother-in-law survived the tragedy, described the memorable encounter. She said, "He just stole her handbag. He took a shine to it and she let him play with it." Her mother-in-law, Carol Williams, described it as priceless, something to remember. The light-hearted moment came during what was a somber visit for William and Kate as they remembered the 116 children and 28 adults killed when a waste tip slid down a mountain into the Aberfan in 1966. The slurry engulfed Pantlas Primary School and neighboring homes after schoolchildren had returned from an assembly where they sung all things bright and beautiful. Today the royal couple met trustees from the Aberfan Memorial Trust, who are involved in ensuring the maintenance of the garden, alongside some of the Aberfan Wives group who lost relatives in the disaster. They later bowed their heads to pay their respects to the victims and left a floral tribute, which simply read, "In loving memory." The memorial garden, opened by the late Queen in 1974, stands on the site of the former school and commemorates the victims of the disaster. William's late grandmother visited Aberfan 8 days after the tragedy and shortly after a mass funeral had taken place. Her decision not to visit sooner was said to have been one of the greatest regrets of her reign. Despite this, mourners gathered to meet her, and the bond she made with those she spoke to during that visit on October 29, 1966, endured throughout the rest of her life. In 1974, she opened the garden to commemorate the victims and provide a place for bereaved families, survivors, and the community to pay their respects.